Hey everyone, welcome to Do It Yourself. So today we're going to be working on a witch inspired burlap wreath. I will let you know where I got all the material from as we go. So first we're going to start with the easy part, which is filling the socks. These socks were purchased from Target. They were in the dollar section. I've already filled one, so I'm going to move on to the second. I use trash bags from the grocery store. If you don't have any, you can always use paper towels, but like I said, I already filled the first one. So just shake them all the way down to the bottom. You can kind of shape them as you go along, but we're going to go with 5 bags. There you go. Okay, moving on, we're going to work on the witch's boot. I printed out, well, I cut these out and they are witch's boots. I will put them in the comment section so that you can have one of your own. What you will do is you will take one and you're going to fold your felt piece in half so that when you cut it, you have double. I'm going to trace this and then go back through and cut it. Use a color that will be visible and show up while you're cutting, while you're tracing. You might want to reinforce this back because felt is flimsy. So okay. Might be a little hard for you to see, but there it is. I traced it and now I'm going to go back through and cut it. Sometimes I like to use pins to pin the edges so that while I'm cutting the backs, they don't slip from each other. I chose purple because my sock has purple in it and I wanted to bring it out and make it more of a girlier looking wreath. So once I cut this, I'm going to attach it to the sock using hot glue. Hot glue that I'm using is going to be a multi-purpose glue. If you want, you could even use foam to cut your boot with, and that might be a little bit more sturdy, but I just used what I had on hand, which was leftover felt from other projects. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the boot that has the tracing and you're going to put it on your left-sided boot. So we're going to take it and we're just going to hot glue it here. Put the hot glue all right here. Great thing about hot glue is it still gives you a little bit of time to move it if you don't like where you positioned it. There we go. Like I said, it's going to be flimsy, so if you want to reinforce it, you can. Let's make sure that we don't have the same side, because we would have if I did not check that. There we go, flip it around. Hot glue the other side. So there we have it. We have both legs. Now I'm going to move on to the burlap wreath itself. I've already finished one, but I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. The colors I'm using for this next one are going to be black because I have a different one that I'm going to make, which is going to be a skull. But the burlap that I'm using was for the original burlap color. It is $5.99. You can buy it in the floral section at Hobby Lobby. When I purchased it, it was on clearance because it was on a sale. So I'm going to use 3 of these burlap rolls. What you're also going to need is floral wire. We're mostly using the floral wire to attach them at the very beginning and at the end. This floral wire I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's 150 feet for $3.99, and it comes with its own cutter, so you don't have to worry about having wire cutters handy. Okay. So you're taking the wire and you're going to stick it through, and we're going to use this to attach their burlap to the ring, and it's not moving. We're going to bring it through the back side. So once you have it through the back side, you're going to pull it through. And you could use this just to wind around the metal itself on the wreath. Okay. So here you have your first loop. You're going to bring it through the middle, and that is going to be your second loop. Each of these you can decide on how big you want each loop by just pulling through. Keep in mind whatever color you use, they do shed, and so it's going to shed all over this white table. Okay. So then we're going to bring it through the last bottom loop, the innermost circle loop. So here we have. Okay. And then when you get to the end of that one, what you're going to do is you're going to twist it on the back side, and then you're going to move on to the outermost loop, or the first loop that you originally started in. Bring it through and repeat the process. So there are sections in every one of these metal rings. For each section, you will do about 3 rounds in each section. For the original color of burlap, the wreath that I've already done, that one used 3 rolls of this burlap. But you could use more rolls and make your loops fuller, and you could have a larger wreath. Okay. Going and working at that bottom one. So we've done 3 rounds in this section, and when I mean sections, you're looking at this area here, this area here. Then when you get to this end, you're going to twist it, and you're going to repeat the steps throughout. When you get to the end, what you're going to do is you're going to take the end of that burlap, and you're just going to ring the wire that you have here through the other, and you're just going to twist and tie it off. If you have any questions, or if you're not sure about anything, you can always ask me a question in the comments below, and I will respond to each of those. So as you see, it all depends on how much you want to bring through, on how full you want yours to look. This is where I have brought mine through. I'll do one more round so that you get more of an understanding. You twist it, then you're going to bring it through the outermost ring, do the middle, and then do the outer, or the center, I guess you can call it. Okay, and do one more. And then we're gonna move on to the bow part of the witch. And after that, there would just be attaching all the pieces to the wreath. Okay. There we go. And that's how it looks on the front side. This is gonna be the back side. The back side's just gonna have just loops through it, but you won't see the puffiness. You can always determine on how big you want everything. You can adjust that yourself. Next, we are going to work on the bow. Okay. The way that we're going to attach this is going to be with hot glue. So I'm going to find where my starting spot was because it wasn't as full as I wanted it to be, and I'm going to use that to hide that. So we're going to attach it here. And I'm just using regular hot glue. I'm going to put the glue here. Careful because it may melt because this is, I'm going to say, like nylon material. You're going to press the burlap against it. Burlap has holes, so be careful because you will burn yourself on the back side if you're using your finger to push it through. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I figured that my burlap was going to be too big, and it is way too big. So I'm going to redo that and make a much smaller burlap bow. I'm going to bring out the Bodabra again. So I'm going to try to keep them the same length as the Bodabra itself. And maybe if I could try to get more loops into this, I will, but if not, no big deal, because I did have, it was too big. So I'm going to stick with 3 loops on each side. Cut this off right here. Once again, we're going to pull up our pipe cleaner to tighten the bow. Probably should have used orange pipe cleaner so it would blend in better, but when you fluff out the bow, you won't really see the pipe cleaner anyways. So this is so much better of a size than what we were working with before. So we're going to attach this right about there. And I'm going to use my pipe cleaner and just take it through one of the loops that it was made with the original burlap color, and just twist my pipe cleaner. It's just going to hold it in place. I'm actually going to reposition this because I want this to be more on top of the hat. So I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to use hot glue to attach it instead. I might need a lot just because the bow is so inserted. So I'm going to attach it like so. Careful, it will go through, and it is pretty hot. So now we need to figure out a way to attach our witch feet, which, see, we gotta make sure it actually touches because there's such a gap in between the two from the bow and the pipe cleaner. Okay. And because the bow is heavy, you might need to let it sit there for a little bit before, so the glue can dry. Okay. So we're gonna flip it over, and on the back side, we can bring it through these loops here. Okay. So this leg's gonna go out. And then we're gonna put this one right beside it. Make sure that it is placed on the right side. Okay. We're just weaving it through the metal pieces and just tie them to secure them. So then this is what we have here. If you'd like to reinforce the feet, I'm gonna add cardboard to reinforce them. But basically, this is done. So I ended up hating and absolutely not liking the way that the felt laid on the sock. So I'm going to redo it with a very thick piece of foam. It just wasn't as sturdy as I wanted it to be. And if you know me, you know I'm a perfectionist, especially when it comes to crafts and stuff. So I would much rather prefer to redo it than to put something on my door that I am not truly in love with. So I'm going to go ahead and recut out this boot and reattach it because I really truly wasn't happy with the way that it looked. Once again, I just traced out my stencil and I am cutting it, and then we're going to hot glue it. We'll see how well it works once I remove the felt. There might be some leftover remnants of the felt because it attached so well.
Mommy, shampoo.
So these are my 2 pieces of foam. I'm gonna try and remove the felt. If I cannot remove it, I'm just gonna cut it off because I will use the foam to cover the felt. The felt just wasn't sturdy enough. Okay. So I'm just gonna cut it. Be careful not to cut the sock itself. Okay. So I'm just gonna replace these over the foam, over the felt, sorry, with some glue. And this, I could already tell the sturdiness of the foam is so much better than the felt was. I wasn't paying attention on which side I put it on, so I messed up. I'm gonna try to peel this off once it dries. Try this again. Now I'm focusing a little bit better, and I know which one this goes on. Okay. So there we have it. That looks so much better than before. You can always save your scrap foam for another project, but I'm gonna hold this up for you guys so that you can see what the final piece look like. This is how it looks laying flat. This is your final completed piece. The foam worked out so much better for us in this different material. So this is the final piece. If you want to join me for my next video, I will be doing my daughter's Halloween costume. She's obsessed with Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. So I will be doing her Halloween costume. And if you don't know, I do my kids' costumes every year. And it's just a kind of tradition that we've started. My little one, Olivia, who's 2, will be the little ladybug that turns into earrings. So if you want to see that, go ahead and subscribe and give us a thumbs up and make sure that you share our videos. Thank you.